Have you ever wondered how a man, exiled and oppressed, could maintain unyielding faith and divine wisdom? Discover Daniel's story, a timeless journey of courage, prophecy, and miraculous intervention that challenges us to reflect on our own spiritual battles and hidden destinies. Join me as we unravel secrets, visions, and trials that reveal the transcendent power of faith. In a time when the mighty Babylonian Empire ruled with unyielding force, a young Hebrew man named Daniel was among those taken captive from Jerusalem. Thrust into a foreign land, he faced not only the loss of his homeland, but also the daunting challenge of maintaining his cultural and religious identity amidst a pagan society. The book of Daniel opens with a vivid description of this exile, a period marked by great political upheaval and spiritual trial. Despite the overwhelming pressure to conform to Babylonian customs, Daniel distinguished himself by his resolute commitment to the God of Israel. His daily life in the palace, filled with rigorous training in the language and literature of the Babylonians, was a constant reminder of his precarious status. Yet, even as he navigated the complexities of court life, Daniel's inner world remained firmly anchored in prayer and devotion. His unwavering faith was not a passive acceptance of fate. It was an active rebellion against the forces that sought to erase his identity. Daniel's early experiences in exile set the stage for a remarkable life, a life that would later be defined by extraordinary dreams, prophetic visions, and an unshakable trust in divine providence. As you consider the challenges he faced, ask yourself, how would you hold on to your beliefs if everything around you seemed to demand conformity? With this question stirring in our hearts, we transition to the practices that fortified Daniel's spirit during these tumultuous times. Amid the challenges of life in exile, Daniel discovered that his most potent weapon against the encroaching culture of Babylon was his steadfast commitment to prayer. In the quiet hours before dawn, when the world was still cloaked in darkness, Daniel would retire to a secluded place to commune with God. This daily discipline was not merely a ritual. It was his lifeline, a direct line of communication to the divine that sustained him through every trial. The Bible recounts that despite the oppressive pressures of a foreign court, Daniel's prayer routine remained unbroken, a testament to his deep spiritual conviction. His prayers were filled with heartfelt petitions, expressions of gratitude, and a quiet determination to uphold the values of his heritage. In a land where gods of stone and idols dominated, Daniel's reliance on the living God set him apart, marking him as a beacon of hope for his fellow exiles. His resolute habit of prayer provided him with clarity and strength, enabling him to face even the most daunting challenges with courage and conviction. This commitment to daily prayer not only fortified his inner life, but also influenced those around him, as his example sparked a revival of faith among his peers. Reflect on the transformative power of such a discipline. In moments of uncertainty, what if you too could find solace and guidance through an unwavering connection with the divine? With hearts inspired by Daniel's dedication, we now move to a turning point in his life, a moment when his faith was put to a dramatic test. One fateful night, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar was troubled by a perplexing dream that none of his wise men could decipher. The dream was shrouded in vivid imagery and apocalyptic symbolism, a vision of a great statue composed of various metals representing successive kingdoms, and a stone that struck the statue, shattering it to pieces. In his desperation, the king demanded that his magicians, astrologers, and sorcerers not only recount the dream, but also reveal its hidden meaning. The court was thrown into disarray, for no one could fathom the mystery that weighed so heavily on the monarch's mind. Amid this turmoil, Daniel stepped forward with quiet confidence. Drawing upon his deep relationship with God and the divine insights gained through prayer, he requested time to seek revelation. Daniel's plea was met with suspicion by the royal advisors, yet his reputation for wisdom and integrity allowed him a chance to interpret the dream. In a dramatic moment that underscored his unique connection with the divine, Daniel revealed the dream's secrets. The statue symbolized a succession of empires destined to rise and fall, while the stone represented the everlasting kingdom of God. This interpretation not only amazed the king, but also affirmed Daniel's role as a mediator between the divine and the earthly realms. As you consider this pivotal event, ask yourself, what does it take to possess such divine insight, and how might faith unlock mysteries that defy human understanding? With Nebuchadnezzar's awe still echoing in the halls of Babylon, we transition to the profound impact that Daniel's interpretation had on both the king and the kingdom. Following his breathtaking interpretation of Nebuchadnezzar's dream, Daniel's status in the Babylonian court soared to unprecedented heights. His newfound influence was not the result of political maneuvering, but rather a manifestation of divine favor, a clear sign that God was at work through him. The king, deeply moved by the revelation, not only honored Daniel, but also entrusted him with greater responsibilities, appointing him as one of his chief advisors. This elevation was both a personal triumph and a powerful testimony to the sovereignty of the God of Israel, who could guide even the mightiest of empires according to his purpose. Daniel's ascent in the court was marked by challenges and temptations. The allure of wealth, power, and the trappings of a pagan culture loomed large. Yet his character remained unblemished, a shining example of integrity and unwavering faith in the midst of opulence. His success in Babylon stirred envy and admiration alike, drawing the attention of both allies and adversaries. Through it all, Daniel's focus was clear: to honor God above all else, even if it meant standing apart from the prevailing norms of his society. His rise was a poignant reminder that divine favor transcends human politics, and that true wisdom is measured by one's commitment to righteousness rather than worldly achievement. As you ponder Daniel's remarkable journey in the heart of a foreign empire, reflect on the power of staying true to one's values in a culture that often demands compromise. With this inspiring ascent as our foundation, we now transition to exploring the formidable challenges Daniel and his companions faced in preserving their identity amid pervasive pressure to assimilate. Life in exile was fraught with challenges, particularly for Daniel and his friends, who were tasked with maintaining their religious identity in a society steeped in pagan customs. The Babylonian court was a hotbed of idol worship, lavish ceremonies, and cultural practices that ran counter to the teachings of the God of Israel. Yet, Daniel and his companions, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, refused to compromise their faith. Their steadfastness in the face of relentless pressure became a beacon of hope for their fellow exiles and a source of consternation for their pagan peers. In one dramatic instance, when King Nebuchadnezzar decreed that all must bow to a golden image, these young men boldly declared that they would worship only their true God. Their defiant stand led to the famous trial by fire, where divine intervention miraculously preserved their lives and testimony. This chapter explores the internal and external battles these men fought daily, a struggle that went beyond mere survival, encompassing the very essence of spiritual integrity and identity. Their courage in the face of overwhelming odds demonstrates that faith, when anchored in truth, can withstand the most sophisticated schemes of cultural assimilation and moral decay. As you reflect on their story, consider the personal sacrifices required to hold fast to one's beliefs in a world that often celebrates conformity. What strength does it take to stand alone in the name of God, and how can such courage transform a community? With these questions stirring in our hearts, we transition to the next segment of Daniel's story, a glimpse into the vivid and prophetic visions that would shape not only his destiny, but also the future of nations. Daniel's journey was marked not only by his wise counsel in the court, but also by the extraordinary visions that God revealed to him, glimpses into the divine plan for the future of the world. These prophetic dreams were both awe-inspiring and perplexing, filled with symbolic imagery that transcended the boundaries of time and human understanding. In one of his most famous visions, Daniel saw 4 great beasts emerging from the sea, each representing a successive kingdom that would rise and fall in the course of history. The vivid imagery of these beasts, with their fearsome forms and relentless power, left Daniel trembling. Yet it also filled him with a deep sense of purpose. He understood that these visions were not mere fantasies, but divine revelations that held profound implications for the fate of humanity. The weight of these prophecies pressed heavily on his heart, as he struggled to decipher their hidden meanings and prepare himself for the unfolding of events foretold by God. The visions also hinted at the eventual triumph of God's everlasting kingdom, a promise that, despite the seeming chaos of earthly empires, a higher order was destined to prevail. As you ponder these mystifying images, ask yourself, what if the events of history are not random, but carefully orchestrated by a sovereign God who holds the future in his hands? With Daniel's prophetic visions lighting the way, we now transition to a deeper exploration of the symbolism behind these dreams and the secrets they reveal about the divine plan. The visions and dreams that Daniel received are replete with symbolic language, a divine code meant to convey truths that extend beyond the limits of ordinary perception. In this chapter, we delve into the intricate world of biblical symbolism, as revealed through Daniel's prophecies. Each image, the four beasts, the ram and the goat, the mysterious figure like a son of man, carries layers of meaning that have been the subject of intense study and debate among scholars for centuries. These symbols are not arbitrary. They are carefully chosen representations of the complex interplay of earthly kingdoms, divine judgment, and the eventual establishment of an everlasting kingdom. Daniel's use of symbolism invites believers to look beyond literal interpretations and to engage in a deeper, more contemplative examination of the divine narrative. For instance, the four beasts may represent successive empires, each with its own character and destiny, while the Son of Man figure points toward a messianic hope that transcends temporal power. As you explore these enigmatic images, reflect on the possibility that God communicates in a language that is both mysterious and profound, a language that challenges us to seek truth through study, prayer, and discernment. This chapter encourages you to unlock the secrets hidden in Daniel's visions, appreciating that each symbol is a piece of a grand, cosmic puzzle. With our minds attuned to the language of symbols, we now transition to the prophetic messages embedded within these visions, messages that speak directly to the future of nations and the ultimate destiny of humankind. At the heart of Daniel's visions lies a powerful prophetic message, a revelation of the unfolding drama of human history and the eventual triumph of God's everlasting kingdom. This chapter examines how Daniel's prophetic insights extend beyond the immediate context of his time, offering a glimpse into the distant future where the forces of good and evil engage in a cosmic struggle. His visions speak of great empires rising and falling, of wars that shake the foundations of nations, and of a climactic battle between divine light and the forces of darkness. Yet, amid this apocalyptic imagery, there is also a message of hope, a promise that, despite the transient nature of human power, God's kingdom will endure forever. Daniel's prophecies challenge us to consider the larger narrative of creation, where every event, no matter how catastrophic it may seem, is part of a divine plan that ultimately leads to redemption. The prophetic messages contained in his visions call for vigilance and faith, urging believers to remain steadfast in the midst of turmoil and to trust in the sovereignty of God. As you reflect on these sweeping prophecies, ask yourself, how might these ancient predictions shape our understanding of current global events? The timeless words of Daniel remind us that history is not a series of random occurrences, but a carefully orchestrated tapestry woven by a God who holds the future in his hands. With this prophetic framework in mind, we now transition to exploring Daniel's role as a wise counselor in the courts of kings, a position that further underscores the intersection of divine insight and human affairs. Daniel's remarkable journey took him from the humblest beginnings to the very heart of power in the Babylonian and Persian empires. His exceptional wisdom, unwavering faith, and ability to interpret dreams and visions earned him a distinguished place among the kings and rulers of his time. In the courts of Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, and Darius, Daniel served not only as an advisor, but as a living testament to the power of divine guidance in the midst of political intrigue and cultural turmoil. His counsel was sought on matters of state and prophecy alike, and his interpretations of dreams and signs provided a bridge between the earthly realm and the divine. Despite the lavish privileges and dangerous politics of the royal court, Daniel remained resolute in his commitment to his faith, refusing to compromise his principles even when faced with severe consequences. His integrity and dedication set him apart as a beacon of hope, a reminder that true wisdom comes from a heart that seeks God above all else. Daniel's experiences in the royal courts offer profound lessons on leadership, courage, and the importance of staying true to one's convictions in a world that often rewards conformity and compromise. As you consider his story, reflect on the challenges of maintaining integrity in the face of temptation and the constant pressure to assimilate. How can we, like Daniel, navigate our own spheres of influence while remaining steadfast in our values? With these reflections, we now transition to the personal challenges and triumphs that marked Daniel's journey, a journey that would later be immortalized in his prophetic visions and enduring legacy. While Daniel's public life was marked by his rise to power and his influential role in the courts of kings, his personal journey was equally fraught with challenges and moments of profound introspection. The path of a prophet is never free from internal struggles. The burden of interpreting divine mysteries and the pressure to maintain unwavering faith can weigh heavily on the soul. Daniel faced moments of isolation and deep introspection as he sought to reconcile the vastness of God's revelations with the reality of his own mortal existence. In private, he wrestled with doubts, fears, and the immense responsibility of bearing witness to events that defied human understanding. Yet, it was through these personal trials that Daniel's character was forged in the crucible of adversity. His unwavering commitment to prayer, meditation on Scripture, and constant reliance on divine strength became the cornerstone of his inner life, enabling him to face external challenges with a resolute heart. This chapter invites you to consider the hidden battles that every believer must face, the internal wars between doubt and faith, despair and hope. Daniel's story reminds us that personal transformation often comes at a great cost, but it is precisely through these struggles that one can achieve true spiritual maturity. How do we find the strength to endure our own trials? And what role does our personal relationship with the divine play in overcoming them? As we delve deeper into Daniel's internal journey, we now transition to exploring the influence of his unwavering faith on his peers and the broader community. The steadfast faith and unwavering integrity of Daniel resonated far beyond the confines of his personal life. It had a transformative effect on those around him. In a world marked by political intrigue, cultural assimilation, and spiritual compromise, Daniel's example stood as a powerful testament to the possibility of living a life wholly devoted to God. His commitment to prayer, his fearless interpretation of divine revelations, and his refusal to bow to the pressures of a pagan society inspired his peers to re-examine their own values and priorities. Friends, colleagues, and even adversaries found themselves drawn to his wisdom, and many began to question the dominant paradigms of their time. Daniel's influence extended to the royal court, where his counsel not only shaped policy, but also encouraged a renewed openness to divine truth. His example challenged the notion that success in a corrupt world required compromise of one's beliefs, instead offering a radical alternative, a life of integrity, humility, and reliance on God's providence. This chapter explores the ripple effects of Daniel's example, highlighting how his personal transformation and steadfast faith became a catalyst for spiritual renewal among his contemporaries. Reflect on the ways in which one individual's commitment to truth can spark change in an entire community. As you consider Daniel's enduring legacy, ask yourself, what impact can your faith have on those around you? With these thoughts in mind, we now transition to examining Daniel's prophetic visions and the deeper mysteries they unveil. One of the most compelling aspects of Daniel's life is his gift of prophecy, a divine endowment that allowed him to glimpse the future and reveal the hidden workings of God's plan. Throughout the book of Daniel, we encounter vivid and sometimes bewildering visions that defy simple explanation. These prophetic experiences are characterized by symbolic imagery, such as the vision of the four beasts, the ram and the goat, and the mysterious figure like a son of man. Each vision is a window into the cosmic drama of human history, a narrative that spans empires, foretells great conflicts, and ultimately reveals the sovereignty of God over the future. Daniel's visions are not merely personal revelations. They serve as crucial messages for an entire generation, urging believers to remain steadfast in their faith, even in the face of imminent challenges. The symbolism within these visions invites us to look beyond the literal and to engage in a deeper contemplation of the mysteries of time, destiny, and divine intervention. As you ponder these prophetic images, ask yourself, what hidden truths might be encoded in these ancient symbols, and how do they speak to our modern understanding of history and spirituality? This exploration of Daniel's visions challenges us to decode a language of prophecy that remains as enigmatic today as it was in his time. With our minds open to the divine mysteries, we now transition to examining the interpretation of these visions and the scholarly debates that surround them. The prophetic visions of Daniel have sparked intense debate among theologians, historians, and scholars for centuries. Their symbolic complexity and multifaceted interpretations continue to inspire both awe and controversy. This chapter delves into the various approaches to interpreting Daniel's prophecies, ranging from literal readings that attempt to map ancient symbols to modern geopolitical events, to more allegorical approaches that see these visions as metaphors for the eternal struggle between good and evil. Some scholars assert that the beasts and figures in Daniel's visions represent specific empires and historical figures, while others propose that they symbolize broader, cyclical patterns in human history. The diversity of interpretations reflects the richness of the biblical text and its capacity to speak to different audiences across time. This chapter invites you to consider the challenges of interpreting ancient prophecy in a modern context. How do we discern the timeless truths hidden within layers of symbolism and allegory? As you explore the scholarly debates surrounding these visions, ponder the possibility that the true meaning may lie beyond any single explanation. The quest for understanding is itself a journey of faith and humility, as we acknowledge the limitations of human knowledge in the face of divine mystery. With these insights, we now transition to exploring the practical implications of Daniel's prophecies for the lives of believers both in his time and today. The prophecies of Daniel are not mere relics of ancient history. They carry practical implications for the lives of believers both then and now. In a world marked by uncertainty, these divine revelations offer guidance, hope, and a call to steadfast faith. This chapter examines how Daniel's prophetic insights can be applied to our everyday lives, encouraging us to navigate the challenges of modern society with wisdom and resilience. The visions of impending empires, cosmic battles, and divine intervention serve as reminders that history is not random, but part of a grand, divinely orchestrated plan. For believers, this knowledge brings both comfort and responsibility. Comfort in knowing that God is sovereign over the future, and responsibility to live in a way that aligns with his eternal purpose. Daniel's prophecies invite us to remain vigilant, to seek truth amidst the chaos of contemporary life, and to embrace a perspective that transcends the transient nature of worldly power. Reflect on how these ancient truths can inspire you to lead a life marked by integrity, courage, and an unwavering commitment to righteousness. As you integrate these lessons into your daily walk, consider the transformative potential of aligning your actions with the divine order revealed in Scripture. With these reflections, we now transition to exploring the personal struggles and triumphs that define Daniel's own journey. A journey that continues to inspire believers today. Behind the public image of Daniel as a wise counselor and prophetic visionary lay a man who wrestled with internal challenges and moments of profound vulnerability. The weight of his divine calling, combined with the pressures of life in exile and the complexities of interpreting God's messages, often led Daniel into deep introspection and personal struggle. This chapter delves into the intimate aspects of his inner life, his moments of doubt, fear, and the ever-present battle to remain true to his faith in the face of overwhelming adversity. Daniel's internal conflicts were not signs of weakness, but rather evidence of his humanity and his relentless pursuit of spiritual purity. His struggles serve as a mirror for our own experiences of wrestling with sin, doubt, and the burdens of life's uncertainties. Yet, in these moments of turmoil, Daniel also discovered profound insights and renewed strength through prayer and communion with God. His journey teaches us that personal transformation is often born from the crucible of inner conflict, where the light of divine truth can break through even the darkest shadows of the soul. As you reflect on your own internal battles, consider how embracing vulnerability can lead to a deeper, more authentic relationship with the divine. With Daniel's personal trials as our guide, we now transition to exploring how his example influenced his contemporaries and inspired a community of believers. Daniel's life was a powerful testament not only to his personal faith, but also to his ability to inspire and uplift those around him. In the midst of a foreign and often hostile environment, his unwavering commitment to God served as a beacon of hope and a model of integrity for his peers. This chapter examines the profound impact Daniel had on his community, how his actions, words, and steadfast example encouraged others to embrace their own faith and resist the pressures to conform to pagan customs. His influence extended far, beyond the walls of the royal court, touching the hearts of ordinary people who saw in him the possibility of redemption and divine favor. Daniel's courage in the face of adversity, His willingness to stand by his convictions despite personal risk, and his ability to interpret God's messages with clarity and wisdom resonated deeply with those who longed for spiritual renewal. His example challenged individuals to reconsider their own values and priorities, sparking a quiet revolution of faith that gradually transformed the social fabric of the exile community. Reflect on the power of one person's integrity to ripple outward, affecting change in ways that are both subtle and profound. As we transition to the next chapter, we will explore the remarkable episodes that highlight Daniel's encounters with divine intervention, moments that defied human logic and revealed the miraculous power of God. Time and again, Daniel's life was punctuated by miraculous encounters, moments when divine intervention broke through the human realm to deliver undeniable signs of God's power. These events ranged from the interpretation of dreams that saved the lives of kings to personal moments of revelation that fortified his faith. One of the most striking examples is his ability to discern the hidden meanings behind the complex visions granted to him, a gift that not only astonished his contemporaries but also affirmed his unique relationship with the divine. In these encounters, the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural blurred, revealing a reality where God's presence was both palpable and transformative. Daniel's experiences served as a reminder that, even in the darkest of times, divine light could pierce through and provide guidance, hope, and assurance. The miraculous interventions in his life were not random acts of wonder but deliberate signs that God was actively involved in the affairs of his people, shaping destinies, protecting the faithful, and warning of impending judgment. As you reflect on these awe-inspiring moments, consider how the possibility of divine intervention might influence your own life and perspective. With each miraculous encounter, Daniel's story deepened the mystery of how God communicates with humanity, urging us to remain open to the extraordinary. Now, we transition to a discussion on the legacy of Daniel's prophecies and their enduring impact on future generations. The prophecies and visions recorded in the book of Daniel have cast a long shadow over subsequent generations, shaping not only the course of history, but also the collective spiritual consciousness of countless believers. Daniel's revelations, filled with symbolic imagery and profound insights into the rise and fall of empires, have inspired a legacy of prophetic thought that continues to influence both religious and secular interpretations of history. His visions speak of events that span millennia, a tapestry of divine judgment, hope, and redemption that invites readers to discern the eternal principles underlying human affairs. Over the centuries, scholars and theologians have debated the meanings of these prophecies, often arriving at different conclusions about their fulfillment. Yet, despite these differences, one fact remains clear. Daniel's words have a timeless quality that transcends the limitations of any one era. They challenge us to look beyond the immediate circumstances of our lives and to consider the grand, overarching narrative of God's plan for creation. The prophetic legacy of Daniel serves as a beacon, guiding believers through times of uncertainty and turmoil, and reminding us that the divine purpose is ever present, even when hidden behind layers of mystery. As you reflect on the significance of his visions, ask yourself, what lessons can we draw from Daniel's prophetic insights for our modern world? With these questions in mind, we now transition to exploring the ethical and moral implications of his teachings and how they continue to challenge our understanding of justice and righteousness. The teachings and prophecies of Daniel extend beyond predictions of future empires. They offer profound ethical insights that continue to resonate in the moral fabric of society. In a world often marred by injustice, corruption, and moral ambiguity, Daniel's example serves as a clarion call for righteousness and accountability. His unwavering commitment to truth in the face of overwhelming opposition challenges us to examine our own lives and the choices we make. The book of Daniel underscores that true justice is not merely a matter of legal codes or political power, but a reflection of divine order, a system in which every act, whether of obedience or rebellion, carries eternal consequences. Daniel's life, marked by personal integrity and fearless defiance of corrupt authorities, exemplifies the ideal of ethical leadership. His story invites us to consider how our personal and collective actions shape the world around us, and to recognize that, even in the midst of pervasive injustice, there remains the possibility of redemption and reform. The moral teachings embedded in his narrative urge us to uphold values such as honesty, compassion, and humility, challenging us to align our lives with the higher standards of divine justice. Reflect on how the lessons of Daniel might inform your own decisions and interactions, and consider the transformative power of living a life rooted in truth. With this ethical framework as our guide, we now transition to exploring the relevance of Daniel's story for our modern era, a tale that continues to inspire and provoke thought across generations. The narrative of Daniel is as pertinent today as it was in ancient Babylon. In an era marked by rapid change, global uncertainty, and moral challenges, his story offers timeless wisdom and inspiration. Daniel's unwavering faith, his commitment to ethical principles, and his courage in the face of overwhelming adversity provide a model for modern believers navigating a complex and often hostile world. His example challenges us to remain steadfast in our convictions, to seek truth amidst the noise of contemporary culture, and to trust in the enduring power of divine providence. In today's world, where societal values are frequently questioned and personal integrity is under constant attack, Daniel's life serves as a beacon of hope, a reminder that true strength comes from aligning our lives with the principles of righteousness and justice. His story encourages us to engage in thoughtful introspection, to build communities rooted in shared values, and to stand firm against the tide of moral relativism. As you reflect on the challenges of modern life, ask yourself, how can Daniel's legacy inspire you to live with greater purpose and resilience? With these questions in mind, we now transition to the final chapter, where we bring together all these insights into a call for action and communal engagement. Our in-depth exploration of the book of Daniel has taken us on a transformative journey through faith, prophecy, and ethical courage. We have witnessed Daniel's rise from exile, his unwavering commitment to God, his prophetic visions, and his profound influence on both ancient and modern societies. His story is a testament to the power of steadfast faith in the face of adversity, the enduring impact of divine wisdom, and the eternal promise of redemption and justice. If Daniel's remarkable journey has stirred your heart, challenged your perspectives, and ignited a desire for deeper spiritual understanding, I warmly invite you to join our community. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more insightful biblical explorations, and share your thoughts or personal experiences in the comments below. Your engagement enriches our collective journey and fosters a supportive network of seekers dedicated to living out timeless truths. Thank you for walking this path with us today. May the lessons from Daniel's life inspire you to face your own challenges with courage, integrity, and unwavering faith, knowing that the divine light continues to guide us all.